King Abdullah returns to Jordan after Islamic State kill pilot. King Abdullah II has returned to Jordan for crisis talks after curtailing a trip to the U.S. following the killing of a Jordanian pilot by Islamic State. He landed in Amman a day after it's posted a video appearing to show pilot Mos al-Kassabi being burned alive. Jordan executed 2 convicts, including failed female suicide bomber Saida al-Rashid, in response. Lieutenant Kassabi was seized after crashing during a bombing mission by the US-led coalition over Syria in December. Jordan had sought to secure Lieutenant Kassabi's release in a swap involving Rashid, but is believed to have killed him a month ago. The BBC's Paul Adams in Amman says talk of an exchange appears to have been his tactic to string Jordan along and foster doubt among Jordanians over its role in the US-led coalition. Speaking before he left the U.S., King Abdullah hailed Lieutenant Kassabi as a hero, saying Jordan must stand united in the face of hardship. The king was greeted by a crowd of several thousand people at Jordan's main airport, with many holding up pictures of the monarch, the pilot and the country's flag in a show of support. Line analysis. Frank Gardner, BBC security correspondent. In addition to the horrific voyeurism of the latest hostage murder video from Israel, something else stands out: the total inability of the U.S. and its coalition allies to save hostages from the clutches of island. For all its multi-billion-dollar intelligence-gathering agencies, its satellites in space, and its highly trained special operations teams, Washington has been unable to mount a successful hostage rescue mission in its territory. So this video is not just a warning to Arab pilots taking part in the US-led airstrikes, it is a calculated mockery of coalition impotence to stop them murdering their hostages, slowly, in broad daylight, at a time of their choosing. Everyone knows their base is in Raqqa in northern Syria, and it is no secret that other hostages are still in his hands. Efforts may now be increased to find them, but an earlier U.S. rescue mission failed, and planners will be looking at the long odds against another one having any more success. The Jordanian military vowed an earth-shattering response after it's posted a video online appearing to show the pilot in a cage engulfed in flames. Mamdouh al-Amiri, a spokesman for the Jordanian Armed Forces, described Lieutenant Kassabi as a martyr and said their revenge will be as huge as the loss of the Jordanians. Rashid and al-Qaeda operative Ziad Karbali, both Iraqi nationals, were hanged at 4 o'clock local time 2 o'clock GMT on Wednesday, just hours after the video emerged. Rashid had been on death row for her role in attacks in Jordan's capital, Amman, which killed 60 people in 2005. Karbali was convicted in 2008 of killing a Jordanian national. His militants had sought Rashid's release as part of a deal to free captive Japanese journalist Kenji Goto, but later killed him. Calls for revenge. Safi al-Kassabi, the pilot's father, called for the Jordanian government to do more than just executing prisoners. "I call for it to be eliminated completely," he told reporters on Wednesday. Sheikh Hamad al-Tayyib, the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar University in Egypt and one of the leading authorities in Sunni Islam, condemned the killing, saying the burning to death of Lieutenant Kassabi violated Islam's prohibition on the mutilation of bodies. King Abdullah and U.S. President Barack Obama reaffirmed their joint resolve to destroy the group at a meeting in the White House before the monarch left for the Middle East. Lieutenant Kassabi is the first member of the US-led coalition to be killed by island. Jordan is one of 4 Arab states to have taken part in the anti-IS airstrikes in Syria. The other countries are Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates and Qatar. The New York Times reported on Wednesday that the UAE suspended its involvement in the strikes after Lieutenant Kassabi was captured in December. It cited U.S. officials as saying the UAE wants the Pentagon to improve its search and rescue efforts in Iraq before it resumes bombing missions.